What do you think is really the cause of the security challenges
The
in the state?
the issue of insecurity, or as you put it, theft, it's as old as man. When it comes to people being involved in crime and criminal activities, I think um, we have known, we have read severally that crime has always been with man as long as you exist in,
Mankind.
yes, in a society, because there is that possibility where there are two, three, four, five persons
Bad
coming
eggs.
together. There's possibility for someone to have, tendency to want to take what does not belong
Belong
to
to
them.
them.
So that has always been there. But then a lot of persons probably watching us will say the current economic realities
TPA in effect.
are maybe responsible. They may not be wrong, but for humans to take what does not belong to them is second nature to some persons, especially these days. Some persons talk about stealing of phones, mobile phones.
Money.
That one is like a norm in some societies in this
No,
country.
you're talking about, you said, so people talk about stealing of phones, and you said it's like a norm.
Mhm.
But I think the reason why they are talking about it now is because of the frequency. Like a few weeks ago, some people said they went to the market, international market precisely, and they didn't come back with their phones. Some people said their money went missing. As at last 3 4 months, that complaint was not there. So I feel it's build up to the festive period. People, they rush to have little money, go back to the village to impress whoever is also there.
Unfortunately, our data collection um, behavior or characteristic as a country is not up to date. Otherwise, if we have accurate data in this country, I can tell you that we can find that stealing of phones is a minute occurrence across this country. It's a minute occurrence. Have you been to Computer Village in Lagos?
Once
Go there and see
you
what's
lose guard.
happening. You lose guard a little bit. Things around you will go missing, either your money, your phone, or something. So, and in other communities like that across the country, it's like a norm. So, stealing, unfortunately, as you said, um, has like increased.
It has increased.
Yeah, yeah.
It has really
You see,
increased.
apart from the fact that insecurity is a global challenge, every country have their own challenge of insecurity. But some countries, they have a system that preempts any form of security breach, and they are always ahead of any criminal. You see, I think during the regime of one of the presidents, billions of naira was spent on CCTV camera in the FCT or so. I don't know if the cameras are still existing. And
To capture the faces
yes,
of
yes,
criminals.
and you see, just as Yabagi said, crime is as old as mankind. People will continue to steal. But I will totally disagree with what Yabagi said, that maybe somebody is stealing because of the economic hardship. No. To the law. No. If you steal and
You said to the law, but he is not wrong. Oh. There are people. I know that we have human nature where what is not part of someone, there are people that what is not part of them, no matter the challenges or no matter the situation, they can never be forced into it. But there are some other people that little situation turn their heads,
No,
and they
see,
can they
don't,
can they can they will do what they vowed
no,
never to do
don't
before.
let
So
us use,
you
don't let,
can't you
don't
can't
let.
Listen,
say he's outrightly wrong.
listen.
No, I don't. I'm not saying that it's wrong.
No, you said you disagree
but I
totally with
disagree
him.
with him. I'm not of that school of thought because
But it is what it is. So
I believe
some people actually do what they felt or what they said they will never do before, because as a result of hardship.
I believe in.
As much as we can say that is wrong, very very wrong, but hardship can push some people into some vices.
My sister, those that
Some
are
people
going,
may not fall, but we have people that will fall for that.
those that are going to farm, are they not doing that work?
I do hard
Of course,
work.
yeah.
Whoa, what hardship?
What are you talking about?
I can't farm.
You don't need to even go to farm before you. In your compound, you can do something small.
And I'll take to the market and sell.
Yes, ugu.
Listen, we are talking about security challenges. Let's come back to it.
Yeah.
Now, when I said the current economic realities,
May be responsible.
I am speaking from a fact, from an experience. See, when you say people, a phenomena or a particular vice is happening in society, and then suddenly it is increasing, of course there are factors responsible. You say there are people that, irrespective of what happened, will never
What's
go
happening
to.
with them?
Circumstances are different. What you can handle and how you can maneuver around situations
I may not be able
are
to.
different.
I may not be able
So,
to.
okay, we are just talking of petty stealing our phones. How about the criminals that are into armed robbery? How about those that are into kidnapping?
Before you even go into the criminals that are into armed robbery, kidnapping, we're talking this morning now. Someone said his neighbor was cooking apapa, and someone stole a pot of apapa. That is hunger.
Let me. Okay. Some maybe people.
You can imagine.
Listen. Like the non-Ibiras.
Okay, yeah, Papa.
Listen, the non-Ibiras and the non-Kogis may be watching us now, may not understand what apapa is.
Okay, apapa means apapa is like the we call it my, but our own we don't peel the back. We just blend it with the back, soak it, blend it with the back, and we
it's like Okpa Pro Mass.
Okay, exactly. No, it's like my Pro Mass. It's my Pro Mass. So imagine someone moving someone's pot of my Pro Mass on fire. That is to tell you, you can only imagine. Now, in the process of trying to do that, two things are involved. He or she will be like, what if I'm caught? The shame. Yet, whoever the person is, still
it doesn't mind the
consequence. Okay, if they catch me, be that too. But this one, my children or myself, we must eat.
Despite that, their papa is on the fire.
He moved. They moved their papa.
Somebody. I got a call from Ayimba, and the lady said the rates of theft in that particular area is very, very alarming. To the extent that somebody will go and steal pots, empty pots.
To do what exactly?
I don't understand.
Would they sell it to Mebola?
No, you spoke of apapa, and it is like.
But this one is empty pot.
Listen. It's like a surprise to you. You talk of empty pot. It's like a surprise to you. More than 10 years ago, a report came to our house in cantonment that somebody was cooking a pot of soup just to go inside and go and look for the rest of ingredients. The
Come
person
and
feels the
put
ingredients are not enough to come and add. The person came back and didn't meet
pot of soup.
the pot of soup. Somebody else had stolen it. And like a joke, the pot of soup never came back.
It's gone now.
It's gone.
It's gone.
So
It's gone.
these kinds of stealings, I think
Those ones are petty, petty. Those ones are petty,
yes,
petty stealing.
it's-
Then there are now those that graduate to armed robbery, kidnapping. To what end?
there are those that are into both petty and professional kidnapping.
Okay.
Yes.
There's petty kidnapping.
No, I mean petty stealing and professional stealing.
Yes.
Okay.
There are those that are into
They'll do the
it.
petty one and still carry the arms.
Yes.
Those ones that steal phones in the
Yes,
market.
they steal
Those ones
phones,
that come to
and
the
then
house.
when it gets to when they need to use guns, they use guns still. There are people like that.
You see,
But are there no ways the security agencies can track this
see,
these people down?
I'm very, very disappointed in our security agencies because at night you see somebody burgle somebody's house and they will just move freely. They will move many meters, many kilometers from their houses, go to another area, steal, and come back freely.
I'm glad you raised this one. I think they will have to do more. I heard of a particular episode of stealing, robbery rather, that they went to that house and they carried something, they wrapped it with clothes, and the occupants of the house thought it was a gun. It was after they left that they forgot that particular thing, and they now discovered it was this what do you call it? Is it jack for
Yes,
vehicle,
yes.
for your tire?
Yes.
It was the same jack they used to expand the burglary. Then they now wrap it and pretended as if it was a gun. So now what it means is that if they are coming in number 2-3, they're coming and they meet police or security agencies, they will say, "We are mechanics. We want to go and check. We want a person make you not go check person car," and they hold that particular
In the night.
yeah, at night.
You see,
I'm telling you now.
Listen.
So they hold it and move. Now mechanic will be one go check person car, and that's how they'll move freely.
you see this point. Korede made, and the earlier point he made about security agencies always, preempting or working towards ensuring they preempt.
In developed countries, so
Yes,
developed
that
countries.
even in those developed countries, those that are into crimes succeed still because there are more sophisticated ways to steal now. There's technology. In fact, there are those who specialize in technologies that will help you preempt what the security agencies are thinking, what your would-be victims are thinking, for you to, be able to successfully carry out your operation of stealing and getting away with it.
And I think that's
Without-
what we just, that's what we
without
just
being
said, that
detected.
the armed robbers, they use that tactic of moving as if they are mechanics so that they can have that access to pass, go and do their thing. And they don't even move immediately. They move, they know that when they move in the middle of the night, police go ask you, say, which person car break down for 1 p.m. So they'll move maybe that kind 4, 5, do their thing, and they should do more. The security agencies should do more.
I think even apart from security agencies, if truly, like if we are going to use Lokoja as a case study now,
Which we are doing.
is there a master plan for Lokoja?
Master
And
plan.
this master plan things that will aid that that will curtail insecurity, are they included in it?
Unfortunately, none of us here is a stakeholder when it comes to the larger security architecture of
Of the state.
the state, uh, particularly Lokoja, the state capital. But I can confidently tell you that there is,
No, I think
there is-
last
there
time
is-
they
there
said,
is a
I think
master
there was
plan.
a stakeholder meeting we attended,
yeah,
and they said there is a master plan,
There is.
but not being implemented.
You see-
As in, they're not working with the master plan of Lokoja.
The reason
The master plan is there, but you can't say
the reason
It's-
the
I
reason
don't think it's
the
functional.
reason the reason why I asked that question is
it's not functional.
I am a victim of theft.
Okay.
People, the house I live has a gate and it's fenced. I parked my bike
With
in
barbed
front
wire?
of my house. No, fenced. I parked my bike in front of my house.
And they moved it.
About, I think, 400 kilometers to my house. There are vigilantes there. You don't understand? They moved that bike. No vigilante, they were not aware. There is a whole river at the back of my house. Around our house there. Once it's dry season like this, they won't go and pass through where those security are staying.
Pass
They will
through the
go and-
river.
That was why I asked that question
Master-
of master plan. You understand where somebody can easily still look for exits.
Make their
If
way
you
out.
go to all this Lokongoma, that river side, you should do your investigation. That's the route they pass.
see, no matter what, this is not holding brief for the security agencies, but no matter what, the way the brain of the criminals work is they always find a way to preempt you, the owner, and the security agencies, and how to maneuver their way. I just feel that we need to do more, even as individuals, when it comes to our own security.
We need to do more.
When it comes to our own security of our immediate environment, of our immediate family, and the community we live in, we need to do more. And that is why when you go to some more organized areas in Lokoja here, you find out that everybody is a security
Conscious.
of
Yes,
himself
yes.
and of that
Security conscious,
community.
yes.
Yes,
Person, yeah.
yes.
For instance, in the area where I stay in GRA, when it is 10 p.m., you cannot come into that part of GRA if you don't stay there. If you are not a resident,
And you need to even
you
abide the
cannot
fact
you cannot come into that community. You cannot come there. If you are a stranger, say you claim to have come from elsewhere,
visitor.
you are a visitor, you are a first timer, you will be forced from
To
the
stay
entrance point. I'm sure it is because of the prayers of people like us that our community is not far from the governor's house. Whenever the governor is around, we feel another extra layer of security again. But even if he's not around, before you enter my community, from there, the vigilante guys will ask you, call the person, let me speak with the person, let me know that it is the person that has given you
Permission
access.
to come.
He is the one that has told you to come and you're coming. So the person must confirm. Otherwise, if you come there, and then another thing is, there is only one way in and one way out of my area.
that is why you.
One way
that
in.
is
One
that is
way
why
in
the security
and one way out.
That's a
So-
good. That's a good one.
In many instances, I will
There's
leave-
no
Ow.
multiple escape.
no routes,
No, escape
none.
route.
That is the reason. That was the master plan
What
I
you're
was
talking
talking
about.
about.
So, if other communities, other streets or areas across the town can also have the same plan where, okay, for our area there is usually every fortnight review of security
Activities.
activities in that community to know what is happening, and everybody is up to date when it comes to paying their
Dues.
their
Their dues,
dues
yes.
for which we use to pay our vigilante guys. So
I think
I'm sure we can organize ourselves
I agree
as
with
a people,
you
yeah.
when it comes to organize communities organizing
themselves.
themselves.
Yeah.
themselves.
People should take their own security very, very personal.
Very,
Yes.
very.
If they can, street by street, if they can
Yes,
come
yes.
together and get a vigilante for that
Community.
for that street, then the vigilante will know that they are in charge of that particular street. And if it is street by street, it means not more than 10 houses at once. The vigilante knows virtually everyone
Yeah.
in that street.
Yes.
So if a stranger comes there, it's much easy for them to
identify.
And if people can do that, it helps too. Then I know some community around Shetima, they have more like a roadblock.
Yes.
Yes.
Once it's 7-8 and they drop it, it's difficult for you to enter
into the community.
into that community, and there's no exit at the back. So how will people go and do carry out their criminal activities in such community?
See,
let's look at let's go beyond this
petty stealing.
and let's look at, you said it earlier that once the governor is around, that
You people
We
feel
have
safer.
actually,
Yeah.
yeah.
Let's look at what the governor has been able to do in the area of security since he assumed office in January this year. Engagement of 50 unpacks across the 21 local governments, which is very, very brilliant and laudable. And
Provision of vehicles.
the provision of vehicles,
Motorcycles,
and these are things that they need to
Swift
move
response.
for appropriate
Swift
patrol
response, yeah.
and
Yeah.
to respond to any security threat or breach.
Mm.
Despite all these things, recently we had reports of kidnapping along some highways in Lokoja. Along Lokoja or Bajana, also along Mopa side, Mopamuro local government, entering some communities, moving people away. What do you think is the problem? Despite all this support that the government has provided, why are we still having this?
It still boils down to the point we made earlier. No matter the preparation, no matter what you do, the criminals are usually some steps ahead of.
Let's not forget that. Let's not forget that they even live among us.
Yes.
They
No,
live-
I'm
they live
coming to
among
that.
us.
I'm coming to that.
Yes.
Because some of those guys that come to communities to carry out kidnapping they work on intel. They work
Yeah.
on intelligence reports they gathered from that community.
Mm.
Some people, even amongst those living in your community, are informants to
They are
these
informants.
criminals.
See, apart from those living in residential places, let's look at hotels. It is very rare. In Lokoja here, it is very rare. You go to an hotel, even as a stranger, before they will check you in, for them to request for your ID card. To be very, very rare. Whereas if you even go to some states in Nigeria here, if you are checking to any hotel, even in Abuja, if you are checking into any hotel,
Yeah.
they will collect your ID card. They will photocopy it and have it. They can use this to trace you in case there's any problem, in case there's any challenge.
Mm.
You see, most of these places they have.
And when you're leaving, when you're leaving, you sign out.
They have functional CCTV cameras that can pick, even if a pin drops, they can pick it. Let me give you an example. I went for a program in one of the hotels here in Lokoja, and somebody came from Abuja, and was in one of the coffee lounge in the hotel. She brought a wig of 200,000 that she wanted to deliver to a customer, kept it somewhere. She went to the hall. Before coming back, somebody picked the wig and went away with it.
Two things are involved.
And someone I know was in that place. And if the CCTV camera in that hotel was not working, they would have said it was that person that stole
picked
it.
it.
So they had to go and preview
The
the CCTV camera.
footage.
They now saw when the time she picked it and everything. So our hotel in Lokoja, in Kogi State, must function in a standard that will also help government in this security drive. They must function in that capacity. You understand? Most of them, they will be scared of even using accommodation. They do most of the things in hotels.
They do.
You see, apart from hotels, members of communities must also be sensitized to take their own security and the security of their neighbors seriously. Because gone are the days when just every Tom, Dick, and Harry can show up in your community. You don't know their whereabouts. You don't know where they came from. You don't know their origin. And the next thing, you're seeing them mingling with people in your community. Gone are the days where we tolerate some of those things. People should begin to ask questions. When you see any stranger in your midst,
Move and
ask question. Find out who the person is, where the person
What are
is
you looking
from.
for?
Whatever it is, we have to first. You are your own security before the
Like
security
when you're talking about the
agents.
person that dropped wig, I said two things are involved. As much as thank God the hotel even have CCTV.
CCTV.
But why in God's name will you an item so valuable, you drop it, move away to do some other thing? What do your hand now? What happen? Why you no go hold am? So assuming the CCTV were not there, should have lost 200,000 naira in this tipping era because of negligence.
Maybe it's because you are a female. If not, is it something as valuable as a wig?
200,000 naira. You just say a wig. 200,000 naira.
Women and wigs.
You see, I know that this administration has tried. I think under 3 months or 4 months or so, the quick response unit for the state police
was formed. Yes,
was built, furnished, give you, and this agency has been doing very, very well. Have been doing a very good job. Kogi State Security Trust Fund. Virtually every month, at times even twice in a month, we hear them refurbishing, giving tires, providing logistics support to various security agencies. And there's this popular saying, to whom much
Just expected.
See, we need a very responsive and responsible response to issues of security
in the
our
state.
Let's ask ourselves, if you are traveling and there's any security threat somewhere, who do you call if you don't know anybody?
Don't even ask if I'm traveling. In your own house, if you notice some unusual movement and you know that this is the other guys, who do you call? What number do you call? If you don't have that number to call, will they come? Will they?
Well, thank God you made reference to quick response unit of the Nigerian police that was
Recently set up.
That has been set up and given the necessary logistical support for it to perform maximally. I am sure, as it is, your question has already been answered. It is the rapid response that you should call whenever anything of security emergency happens anywhere. Of course, that is why they are called rapid. That is why they are
when I
called
put the
quick.
call across, will they come?
When did they?
That's
did they-
another
How
thing.
many
Did they-
how many
did they
call, how
make-
many responses have we how many responses success have we
Did they,
recorded?
have they ever made their numbers public?
Yes. They've at the I was fortunate to be present the day they were launched and commissioned here in Government House. That very day, the state security advisor.
No, the one you are talking
The
about.
state security
is the
advisor
the
actually-
one you are talking about is the metropolitan.
No, quick response. Quick response.
You said if you
Quick-
call them, they will-
yes,
they will
quick
pick.
response.
And we're
In fact,
asking if you
their
have their
numbers were
number.
reeled out that day.
That day.
Yes, their
Somebody
numbers
in
were reeled
another
out
local
that day.
government, or somebody outside the government house that day, will they have the number?
No, that is why they are called Lokoja Metropolitan. It is for Lokoja Metropolis.
And that means they should find a way of
Replicating it.
getting it
across-
across
see,
to the public.
Yes.
Because that is why
For
they
the
are
yes,
there.
that's a
security-
good
for the
suggestion.
security sector of Kogi State, health of security agencies in Kogi State, they are supposed to do a lot of media engagements.
Mm.
They are
Enlightenment.
sitting in your office, go to media houses, do enlightenment. See, we are supposed to even to the level that we are now as a state and as a country, we are supposed to have a centralized system whereby in developed countries you call 911, immediately they respond to you.
That's
They
amazing.
should have one
That's
number
amazing.
that
We have.
the house address.
We
said
actually
the-
have
the
in
house
Nigeria. We have.
I don't think
Yes,
that
yes,
number
we do.
exists, my brother.
No. Try
Yeah,
and
but-
Google it. Seriously,
Yeah, but
It's not the matter of
seriously,
Google.
we
Just
do
let's-
have.
what he's
Let's
saying is not
leave
what
phone and
you're
call her now.
what
I'm
he's
not
saying,
joking.
What he's
I'm
saying
not
is not what you're
joking.
saying. He
No.
said in a developed country, if you call 911, before
No,
you
that is why I'm saying no. 911 is for America, just America alone, not all developed countries. UK have their own emergency lines as well. Just every country have their own emergency
and those
line.
emergency lines,
So
when you call them, they respond immediately.
we have
own.
emergency line in this country
Do they pick?
that when you call, Tom, do you remember a particular I think somebody they turned it into a skit where somebody called and the person that picked said this is the Nigerian police. And the person reported that he bought a fake weed.
That one.
No, like it's part of our emergency numbers that you can actually call. But in this country, we like turning everything into content.
And that's exactly what you're doing now.
This is
We know
serious
this.
matter.
We know what you're talking about. It's not. We're not getting it in this country. Aside from Kogi State, you can't call them and they respond promptly. It's not possible. Well, you know the ones talking about the vigilante that was just how many meters away from you.
400 kilometers from my house.
Aside from that one, there was another.
meters
There was a
from my
robbery
house.
going on in a house, 2-3 houses away from where vigilante is, and they went to vigilante and said, "Robbery is taking place in this house." So no, that's not supposed to.
Yes.
They
No.
said that.
You-
Okay, wait.
Look at where they
No.
put it from.
Let me
The
wait,
vigilante
wait.
guys at that point, maybe he forgot his gun at
My
home.
brother, wait.
Forgot which,
Let me
that
tell you
might be
this.
the
Let me
reason.
tell you this. In one area where I stayed before, my in-law came to visit me from Lagos, and he spent 3 to 4 days, a day too, that he will travel back to Lagos. Do you know, thieves came, tore the window net,
Didn't access.
gain access, use stick or whatever
Carry
to
his
pick
phone.
the phone on the table. The vigilante close to my house, very close. I went to meet him that, Oga, see what happened. Oh. The way you now be vigilante, you people are much here. He said they don't cover our area.
No, maybe
This
when
is
they
just
carry
a
the
stone throw to my house. You say, okay, you don't cover. I kept quiet. Do you know that about 3 or 4 months later, on a broad daylight, between 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. in the morning, he bought a new plasma TV and they picked it in his phone.
Oh, God is a good God.
So later I now told him, he said,
You didn't tell him karma is real.
No. I now told him, I said, security is a collective something. You don't say this one does not concern me, that one does not concern me. Now it happened to me first.
You said it's not your business.
You said it's not your business. Now it's your own turn.
Maybe if you had responded, it's even possible it's the same person that picked the phone that picked his own television and get the person arrested, his television would have been saved.
Really?
But no, he feels
really the issue of security, like this point you just made now, it is not something we should toy with as a people, whether as individuals or as security agents. And it is because we have toyed with some of these petty stealings we're talking about that we are now having the monster like kidnapping.
Yeah.
Yes.
The inhuman treatment that people go through before the ransom are paid to those kidnappers, it is because we have toyed with some of the petty stealing, some of the small take this, take that.
We have ignored.
We have toyed with it. We have ignored it over time. And it is high time we go back. But
no, there's a saying that what you feed grows.
Yes, it is.
Someone is stealing, you're not taking steps.
Imagine
and they take a step further.
Imagine someone paying 450,000 naira per annum
in a house.
And thief will still come into that house and they will still steal it.
One of the things I'm always
security.
One of the things I'm always
no for that house, no security.
One of the things I always frown upon is people always saying government should do this, government should do that. No. Of course, responsibility. The government has a responsibility
of your own social
to
responsibility
provide security for us. But why is it that despite the hardship, despite some of the harrowed situations some of us went through, we never resorted to stealing and going into crime? Why?
Yes, some of us hold water.
It is because we had, everybody was our parent. As long as you were older, as long as you are old as our parents. In fact, we used to have Baba Lagos, Baba Kaduna, Baba Abuja. If you are a brother or an uncle or a friend to our parents and you stay in so and so town, we say you are Baba from that place. You are a father from that place. Even if you live around our area, we call you a parent. You can discipline us. In fact, you can follow us down to our house and come and discipline us for any wrong that we may have committed outside. And our parents will support such persons for coming to discipline us. But those values are eroding. Those values are going extinct. Yes. We need to bring them back. We need to begin to discipline our children. We need to let them know that a wrong is a wrong and it is bad and should be discouraged. While anything good that is done should be encouraged. Despite the fact that we are in the 21st century, despite the fact that technology has become rampant, despite the fact that everybody has become wiser, despite the fact that the world is now a global village, something that is peculiar to you as a community is peculiar to you. We must discipline our children.
No.
Any child that is having the tendency of going into theft, Yahoo that the youths are into now, cybercrime, we must discourage our children against it, because these are the monsters that have grown to what they are
And now
currently,
consuming-
and we must
consuming people.
preach against
Other
them.
Other way out. Other way out.
wait, before we talk about that, the government is doing their part, and we hope they will do more. And on our part, we've talked about the fact that we should make our own security, take our own security in our own hands.
Yes.
Security is every man's business. It's not just about the government. The government will play their part. You play your part. Be your brother's keeper. Be on the watch out. And individually, we talked about. I think festive period. We're already in festive period,
Yeah.
and people should take some step like going home early. We have night crawlers. We're not saying that if you go home early, your security is guaranteed, but we take precaution.
Avoiding late nights.
Avoid late nights. And if we're talking about the fact that you go to the market, people steal your phone, write what you need to buy on a paper and drop your phone at home now, right?
No, you can
actually drop
go
your
out with your phone. You just have to be
Please,
very.
they're women.
No,
if
you
you are going
just-
to the market, no,
you
since you're going to be
you just
holding,
have to be
you're going to
careful.
be holding money and your paper to buy, please keep your phone at home to
And
avoid.
if
So
you know-
phones are
and
very
How about the
expensive
big
now.
bags you always
If you
carry
know-
as
Which
women?
big bag?
The bags you carry
If you
as
tear
women.
around now, I beg keep
inside
your
the
phone at
bag, the
home
money
so
will
that
be missing.
yes, keep your own phone at home so you can just
All right,
concentrate and buy. We just hope that the whole security issue will be a thing
I
of the
think-
past.
I think
Very soon.
I think the proposed airports
Will also help.
for Kogi State will help
In what
in
way?
the sense that if government can look into procuring helicopter that can help
You think they
for
do that?
air surveillance. No,
Right, they do that even
For-
at the moment.
No,
For the
period.
state-
No,
At the
period.
moment, they
Yes,
do that.
they do
for
that.
the state government.
The state
Yes,
government
they do.
does it. The state government
Owning one is what I'm talking about.
owning one.
One.
I don't know if it is their own, but I know they do it.
They get it. They get it from-
I'm sure. With
You see, if we truly want to fight, Kogi is bordering 9 or 10 states.
yes,
And
10
you
states
think-
including
you think,
FCT.
You think Kogi
Absolutely.
does not need an helicopter, a permanent one? Not that we will need. There will be a security threat. We will now call Abuja to give us one. There's supposed to be one permanently in Lokoja.
Be your brother's keeper. If you see something,
Say something.
1, 2,